let them in.
Do, 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 do. Did you see my thingy that showed this?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, I did. How fun. I thought that was so clever.
that's really cool.
I thought it was. I saw it and I was just like,
Oh,
and that was after I'd read the card. that card had me going as well. And then I saw then I saw that and I was and it was very warm, so it was all melted inside. Well, not all melted, but kind of melted that you can't use the pamphlet that comes with you that shows you what each chocolate is.
oh.
And all I can think of every time I open the box is Forrest Gump's thing. Mom says, "My life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get."
Good
Because the
morning,
chocolates
Helen.
don't. Good morning,
Terza,
Joseph.
Good
Good morning,
and everybody
Dean.
morning.
else.
And
Good
so, because the chocolates are slightly melted and you can't see you can't match them up very well with the what's in the box thingy. It really is. You don't know what you're going to get.
Oh,
But it's fun. I thought that was so sweet.
yeah.
But I might have my RV sold too.
Oh, congratulations.
I have a deposit and I'm meeting with them on Monday at the bank for them to deposit the money directly into my account.
Very nice.
Yeah.
One
So-
more thing off your list.
Well, I'm not getting too excited just yet. Once the money's in the bank and the paperwork's signed, then I can get excited.
There you go. Exactly right. Yep.
Morning, Sarah.
Good morning. And then you'll decide when you're going to leave. Is that?
I kind of know where I'm going to leave in October. I just don't know the dates because I've got a niece getting married in Colorado on the 19th, which is a Sunday. And so I'm not sure whether to get the movers to come in before that and then leave that following week or have the movers come in after the wedding. So I have to decide that. But I'll definitely be gone by the end of October.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I have to coordinate so that my flight arrives in Wellington on either a Saturday or a Sunday. So my brother, according to my parents, so my brother can come meet me at the airport as well. And then my luggage will go in his car.
Makes sense.
Lots of coordination.
You're right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But then of course they're going to be out of town for one weekend for my sister-in-law's nephew's wedding. So I can't arrive on that weekend, according to him.
You're such a busy girl. I love it.
This is just trying to coordinate when I'm going to move to New Zealand in October.
Nice. Nice.
Still have all that stuff in that other room behind me to get through, but
That's got to be a blast, especially the way things are in America these days.
well, I had decided to go down there before anything happened because everybody's going, "Oh, is it because of political decision?" I says, "No, my decision was made long ago before the election before there was an election." So,
Right.
and it has nothing to do with
Better
politics.
foundation. You're not running
That's
away, going towards.
Yes, I said it's time for me, after being away from New Zealand for 28 years, it's time for me to get home and see my parents before they are no longer with us.
Nice.
They're both
28 years.
81, so
Super important.
Well,
yes,
I'm
and highly
considering
active.
Machu Picchu. Been there. I'm considering Machu Picchu, which is in
That's-
Peru.
Yeah,
Oh God, that place is amazing. I've been
I
there.
haven't been there yet,
Oh man,
Gorgeous.
with
I
emphasis on
went
the
just
yet.
because it was on my to-do list. But when I got there, I seriously had tears flow down my face because I saw the indigenous that were not killed by the white people. You know, it was just incredible, and I just had never seen so much of that all over the country because the Inca civilization are the only ones that escaped the European genocide of that era.
Wow.
Only the Incas, all the other, they got wiped out. All the other tribes, Aztecs, Mayans, etc., Apaches, all of them, they were erased pretty much. Anyway, the Incas saw that and they were hearing what had happened to all the other tribes. They took off. They went into the Amazons and the rainforest or wherever else, and they are still here, speaking the same language, wearing the same attire, the tribal attire. And seeing them, I'm like, what the hell? Am I in Jurassic Park? You know, I didn't know I was in for that surprise.
Yep.
And
All
they're
right.
so beautiful.
Thank you, Joseph.
Uh-huh.
It's on my bucket list too, so maybe someday, should anyway. Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. We have a small crew here today, and I am so delighted to see all of you. So, for the recording, especially, my name is Terza Ekholm, and welcome to Open Office Hour. Ask me anything about AI. And as we discussed last week, my topic for today is go back to the basics, but back to the basics about GPTs. And this is super important for a number of reasons, but one is, I believe, as you begin to understand GPTs and how to write them for yourselves, it will be, and practice using them, it will be an easier transition for you to understand agentic AI, which is also here and also super useful. And then maybe by then also, there'll be some improvements in how things work on the back end. I want to start actually by first addressing one of Dean's questions from last week. And it's sort of a down note, but I also mean it for you to be sort of a sort of up note. And what I mean is, I went and checked the available literature that I could find. And what OpenAI has done is they've given everybody free access to GPT-5 and in a couple of different flavors. If you have the paid version, they also give you access to GPT-5, but you have more access so you don't run out of queries and things that you're working on. What I was unclear about last week was that they did not make 4.0 or other models available to free users. And I'm not sure why that decision is the case, but that's the decision they've made. Sam Altman talked about a lot of backlash. A lot of people really liked the way ChatGPT 4.0 talked with the users. And Sam Altman responded with, he thinks that people are becoming too dependent on talking to their ChatGPT, which I'm not going to delve into that issue. That's a whole nother issue, but that was sort of what some of his anxieties were about. Plus, like any software company, because I used to be in high tech, you don't want to you don't want to string people out along the line of what software you can support. So you're always trying to move them to your next great thing. That said, this morning I went over on the OpenAI website because I wanted to give you the latest and greatest information. And for those of us who get super busy and we don't have time to update our website sometimes with the latest and greatest information, well, that's true on OpenAI too. So I went down and looked at their little checklist. This is available, this is available, this is not yet available. And I'm going, but that's not true based on what I'm already using. So I would love to say always go to the OpenAI website, but I can't. So try to stay on top of things. It's just not going to be all that easy. They do try to stay up on their YouTube channel. And then, of course, there's always what Sam Altman posts in X. And I will do my best to keep you updated as much as I can. So, yeah. So, and I didn't follow up with you, Dean, on how to use ChatGPT at any level to work with your spreadsheet. So I just wanted to.
No worries.
Okay. Things got a little involved as my week went on. So, 11, you had a whole 11 minutes? Wow.
So I don't think I'm going to become dependent and addicted. And in those 11 minutes, I mean, I love chat. I want to be clear on this. I'm loving AI. But in those 11 minutes, it stopped giving me information. I had to go back and say, please continue, like 4 times. And then it got it incorrect. It went back to a totally another conversation. So you just have to be mindful. You really have to be mindful. And I'm on the free one. So I'm really interested in this GPT thing because I feel like I'm going back over and over doing the same things, reminding chat this is it. And I think from what you said last week or whenever I was here, GPTs will eliminate that, like that it stays in that GPT or something.
Yes, yes. So let's
Okay,
go ahead
good.
and dive right into it. But first, let me answer Joseph's question.
Since we're still on GPTs and agents and everything else that we're talking about. So in my experience dealing with everything that we've been talking about and spending time in ChatGPT, looking at other AIs and trying to accomplish what I thought I already had in ChatGPT, which is to have a master, like a CEO GPT,
Mhm.
and then having all the other specialist GPTs, but they do not talk to each other.
Right.
And but they act like they do. But then when you corner them and you ask them directly, specifically, they will admit, no, we can't. Okay, so we thought we could get that done through agent mode, but it's too clumsy still because ChatGPT goes in and out of agent mode. So, and then it forgets that it's supposed to talk to the other GPTs. It's just not functional. Ended up a waste of time. So I'm looking at another one, which is Sintra, which they say that well, actually, I asked ChatGPT, what, um, who can I use that will let my GPTs speak with each other? It didn't give me any answers other than Sintra, but it warned me that Sintra has a lot of bugs also. So I went another step further, and I'll close with this. I started looking at mind maps to see if maybe mind map I put in the different departments that I'm having to manage myself as a sole proprietor. Well, I'm a nonprofit, but I'm still solitary in my company,
Yep.
in my office anyway. And so I'm thinking about mind mapping to coordinate with my different departments. Do you have any thoughts on mind mapping to replace the inadequacy of the GPTs working together for now?
No, but it's a good thought, and I will think about that later, especially as I get prepared for our next section next week. So, but thank you. That's an excellent thought, and I love your reasoning about how you've been following this, and it gets in the heart of some of the things that Helen and I are going to share today. So, thank you, Joseph. Dean, you had your hand up.
No, I just, I think in your last sentence there, you confirmed why I raised my hand. We are going to learn how to create agents today, right? That was
Oh,
the,
GPTs. We're sticking with GPTs for now. Next
oh,
week, we'll look at agents.
so we should walk before we run? Is that it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. By the way,
Unless you're like me and you just jump in with both feet and run.
right, exactly. Well, I usually jump in the water and then see if I can swim, but yeah. In what I believe Sarah was saying, that spreadsheet I struggled with, it literally took me 6 days to complete my spreadsheet. And it wasn't that complicated. But do you know along the way I corrected ChatGPT's formulas no less than 4 times? And it would say, "Oh, good catch." It was like, "Great catch, Dean. Yeah, let me correct that." And a couple sessions later, I'm like, and the more ChatGPT makes your own formulas, if you click on them, they're not like the formulas you or I would make. They have different strings that ChatGPT, I can understand them, but I'm looking into it, and the more it does for you, the farther it gets out of your control, that you can understand what it's doing. But I caught 4 separate mistakes, and I was going to present this to a client. So it was, I was shocked that an AI was making math equation mistakes. Anyway, I'll let you continue.
Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate your following up with that to let us know how it went. And to remind us once again, we have to check what ChatGPT gives us before we publish it, before we go anywhere with it. Just so you know, an example of you're not alone. If I mentioned this last time, we'll see. About the Chicago Tribune back in June, one of their staff is a book reviewer. And so he publishes, columns on book reviews all the time. And back in June, he published his summer reading tips, or books rather, that, you might like to add to your summer reading list. And 2 of them didn't exist. Nope, they did not exist. See, he was using AI to help him write his column, which many do, but he had to later publish another article where he apologized and he said, "I'm so sorry. Yes, AI helped me write this and do the research. And normally I go and check, and this time I didn't, and now I'm embarrassed." And he pointed out the 2 books that only existed in the mind of the AI that helped him write the book review. Yeah.
See that kind of information, we've read, we've heard about for, I guess, the last 2 years. But what shocked me was these are simple, standardized math equations. Math is math. It's not information you pull from the internet that may be accurate or not. It's a math equation. 2 + 2 = 4. And if you're saying 2 + 2 = 5, oh my God, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. It'll make that initial Mars rover's mission look like a piece of cake. You remember the one where they sent it, and because they forgot to translate whether they were using meters or feet, the things crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't, that wasn't AI, but I'm just saying somebody didn't check their calculations, and they should have. Marcy, go ahead.
ChatGPT and AI, they lie.
They can, for sure. So that's like, with ChatGPT saying, "Oh, sure, use
Yeah.
5 and we'll default to 4.0 when you run out of credit or tokens." Not so. So, Marcy, go ahead.
Okay, I went to the GPT-5, and I had a question for it. It answered my questions. I wanted to declutter, and I wanted some suggestions, and they gave me suggestions, and then they said, "Well, do you want me to give you an outline of it?" Sure. Next, and they did, and then they said, "Do you want me to do this?" And yeah, fine. "Do you want me to do that? Break it down or whatever?" Yeah, do that. And the next thing I know, I've used up something or other, and I couldn't use it anymore for that day. And then I went to all the things. I said, "Okay, give me your whole Megillah, if you will."
Right.
And it did, and there's this restriction, and you can only have so many conversations for 3 hours, and you have to wait 3 hours. And I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 17,000 it seemed, all different restrictions on the free version. Thank you, but if that's all you're going to give me is just a bunch of bull, so maybe I'll go to the paid one and see what I can get. But the free version absolutely stinks, in my opinion.
I agree with you. That's why I was just sort of flummoxed by all the different reports I'm getting, not just here, but from others who are saying, this is horrible. This is not what we want.
Yeah, Chat GPT 4 was better than this.
Yes.
This can do all these things, but limit you here, limit you there. You can't do this, you can't do. I was so disappointed that I walked away from it.
Yes. Yes. Well, you might want to consider looking at some of the other
Yeah.
LLMs like Claude or you and I have talked about Google Gemini. By the way, I didn't get back to you, but thank you very much for your email about the latest
Ah,
improvements. So yes, thank you.
oh, okay. You're welcome.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
on Gemini.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you may find Gemini much friendlier. So I highly recommend exploring for sure.
I'll do that. Yeah.
All right. So good morning, everyone who came in after I started talking. Glad to see you. And to this, just to recap a little bit, I'm going back to the basics about GPTs, what they are, and how we can use them. And Helen and I will each share our different approaches for how we write them, but they're really, you can pick whichever you want, or you can mix and match because they'll get you to the same place. So with that said, let me see about sharing my screen here.
Are you recording, Tirza?
Hopefully, hang on, let me double check. I'd have to stop share for that.
Yes, you are recording.
Okay.
Good, thank you, Helen. Yes. I've discovered a couple of things. I tried to put recording now on automatic, so it does it as soon as I enter the room. And number two is, I thought if I unmuted myself, you get your little entrance screen before you actually get in there. I thought if I unmuted myself, I would already be unmuted, but that's not the case. So just FYI.
It
All
does ask us when we sign in.
Pardon?
It does tell us when we sign in. We have to say, okay, that's being recorded.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that, Dean. All right, let's go back. Let's go up to my window here and try to move things around a little bit. So here we are with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is one way you can think of it. This is the base model from which, for ChatGPT, everything derives. So you can, as we've seen before, you can ask it questions for information, how to help do things, that kind of thing, which of course we now understand we must go check. A GPT, think of it as a specialized version of ChatGPT, but you're only narrowing it to do one or a couple of functions for you, so you don't have to continually repeat your instructions that you're having it do. So as you start using ChatGPT more and more, and you find that you have to give it the same set of context about what it is you want it to do, realize that that's kind of like your little notice to maybe go try making a GPT. So GPT, it stands for generalized, now the thing that went out of my head, something
Generative.
say it again.
Generative.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it.
Okay.
A lot of people also call it a bot. So these days, people kind of use the word bot a little bit more loosely. A bot, sometimes people use it as anything you can talk to. So sometimes people will call GPTs bots. So that's the only point about that. So it's super easy to do. Helen and I have our different approaches. So I'll start with mine, and then I'm inviting Helen onto the stage to share hers. So if you open up your left side menu, scroll down to where it says GPTs, and you click on that. And then over here, move the Zoom things out of the way. Here is a whole world of GPTs. Before you even start writing your own, there's a bunch you can search for to see if somebody else has one that you already like. But just know it won't be customized for you, but you may find them at least useful. And then they put these different topics across here of ones that already exist. There is also a GPT store, so some of these will be paid. You click on it, you get the free version, and maybe the author of that has a paid version, or you have to pay right up front. So use at your own peril or your own delight. They may be great. But what for our purposes, you then go up to this upper right corner, sorry, this one, where it says create. And here we have two different ways to do this. I like to start here in the configure tab. Oh, I have my hand up, sorry. And Helen likes to start in the create tab. Either way. The reason I like to use the configure tab is because then I open up another window of ChatGPT. Pull it up. And I ask it to tell me how to write the instructions for what it is I want to accomplish. So for example, if I want in write great emails GPT, then let's see, writes, I know, writes professional yet warm and friendly emails for me. I'll just put it that way because I'm intending this not to be just for my own private consumption. And then what I like to do is then go back over here and say, write the instructions for this description I just put over here. Just go copy this. Write instructions for a GPT that, right, so maybe not the best English, but it's okay, ChatGPT doesn't care. Oops, I don't want to do anything special, just do the thing. And it will tell me what I need. So then I would just copy this whole thing. In fact, I would even copy, yes, I'm sorry, back up a little bit. I would read through this and make sure it does what I want. And then I would just copy this whole thing, and just copy the whole thing and then go back over to my other one and put it in there and then erase some of the things that it puts at the end. So I don't need this in there, right? The beginning and ending things. And I don't need all this. So that's what I do. And then all you do is you go over here and click create and choose whether you want it to be just for you or anyone with a link or the GPT store and click save. And then, hold on, let me just do that. Over here, if you're still in builder mode, you can, whatever you test is not going to get saved. So you can test it here and make sure it does it the way you want. And that's how I do it. Let's see, right?
Quick question.
Yeah.
You copied and paste. Where did you paste it into?
Oh, yes, great question. Great question, Marcy. I put it over here into the instructions field.
Okay.
Yep. So what this means is now anytime I want to write emails and I want ChatGPT to help me, I will invoke this GPT, give it, the background of what it is I want, and it will write an email for me. Yes, Sarah.
This is pretty basic, but you went to your chat window. On the left-hand side you pulled out this panel with the names of all your files. And then you clicked GPTs, and it opened up this window where we are now, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, but then you went to another window just to the right. And so, no, right, your tab. I'm sorry, you went to that tab. So you created a second tab to ask it to do to write the instructions.
Yes.
Okay. I just was wondering if it was in the same place. So, all right.
No, I actually have two open.
Okay.
Now maybe you can do that, but was just going to say, since I have the paid version, I know I won't run out of tokens. So,
Right.
so yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Dean,
Just
go
want to
ahead.
clarify and verify.
Okay,
You're welcome.
so now when you, and by the way, if you have the free version, it will not let you create a GPT.
That's
So,
right.
when you go to write, the next time you want to actually use this GPT, you would go to your left-hand column and click on that GPT when it says, "How may I help you?" You go over to the left column and click on that particular GPT. Is that how you initiate it?
Yes. Now, because I have so many in here, that's how you would do it. I have a lot of GPTs. So in this case, what I would do is I would click here first, and then up here where it says my GPTs.
Oh,
And that's because, like I said, I have a long list and I may have to scroll through it. Oh, here it is. It's at the top, but here's where I could invoke it.
okay. So you click on the GPT first and then ask me anything second.
Yeah.
Hey, Terza,
But
on that note, what Dean was just talking about,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's true because I've done this for the last 2-3 weeks. I've been working with them and I've got specific GPTs for specific tasks. And I've been testing it. And if whenever I ask a specific GTE about what it supposedly is programmed for, if I ask it or I ask just regular ChatGPT, I get the same information because I'll have two different browsers, like one in Internet Explorer, one in Chrome or whatever, because I don't believe everything ChatGPT tells me anymore because I've taught them too many times.
Yeah, so I'm just following along as she did this. I opened my ChatGPT, I went to the top right and I clicked on create. And it asked me to upgrade to the plus or to the paid version.
Yes.
So, but I have been able
Oh.
to, on my free version, I've been able to go out and grab, thanks to Tirza and her guidance. I went out and found a few GPTs that were just for real estate. And I was able to click on those and save them. But this morning, it didn't let me create. So that's what I just
Oh.
shared.
Right. So you can use the ones that are already out there in the free version. You just can't write your own.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Hi.
Emma?
Yeah,
God.
Dean started the same question that I had, is so you've written it and then we went over here to the side and you said that you have all of these different GPTs. Since I have not created a GPT yet, where did you find the one that said my GPTs?
Absolutely. So we go over to here to GPT in the left side,
Right.
and then over here in the upper right
Okay.
is where you can click on my GPTs.
And then I would find it. And then again, I would click on that and then I could ask whatever it is that I wanted it to do.
Right. Now, to Joseph's point, you can put, if you don't need a lot of context or you don't need to repeat instructions, you can type whatever you want. I mean, your request, in the main ChatGPT chat. And it should provide at least a similar response to what you put in your emails. The reason for the emails is because now I just want it to write me some nice friendly emails in my voice as I have instructed it. If I do it here, it may still do that because I've already, it knows me based on our previous chats, plus I've customized how it should write my things. But in general, for example, I might say, I really only want you to help me with my professional business emails. My warm, friendly ones I can do by myself, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And I'm deliberately also keeping these GPTs basic So, so that I'll be able to show you how to do them. So,
Terza, can I ask one question? So what Joseph was saying is he went to someplace else, not chat, and saved a GPT, and then but he saved it. I guess Joseph, did you save it? How did you save it in your chat account?
Sarah, I've been comparing because I'm in the middle of a big project Terza knows about. And so I created these GPTs, and guess what? It's giving me no different information than if I put it in the general ChatGPT.
Oh, really? Okay.
So then I went further because I'm like, oh wow, this is weird. I went further, and then I tried it in ChatGPT in a different browser and also in Cognito.
Oh,
I'm getting the same information in the general ChatGPT than all than what I'm getting in a GPT, supposedly specific specialist, blah 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 of A, B, C, or D. I'm getting the same information. I'm just wasting time creating GPTs. And then I
okay.
tried it in agent mode, and that's a bunch of bullshit too.
Oh, oh dear.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tirza, I think that would have to do with the amount of instructions you give it. So when you're creating the GPT, if you give it specific instructions, you know, whether it's sincere or friendly, heartfelt emails, that type of thing, then it's going to start differentiating from the normal GPT. Am I right, Tirza?
yes. And again, remember, I'm doing very simple ones just for this demo. I have GPTs that have many screens of instructions because we're narrowing down into very specific things. So I think on that note, is this a good place for us to switch gears a little bit, Helen, and have you share what you do? And I'm still here to answer questions. Thank you. Thank you, Marcy.
Real quick, just real quick, because we're at a good point here. So maybe if we could find out what is the sweet spot for a GPT, because it obviously is not working for the stuff that I'm doing, and I'm not overloading it with instructions.
Right.
But maybe the GPTs want to work in a realm with, and I don't know what that realm is. I don't know what that is because so far I've got no use out of a specific GPT. But maybe for some things, maybe for what Dean wants, maybe it would work great. It's not working for what I want, but maybe it would for something else. I don't know what those something else's are for these GPTs.
Okay. Fair enough. Absolutely. We'll keep exploring. Thank you. You bet. All right, Helen.
Okay, so during this, I'm going to ask everybody to stay on mute simply because I am going to be talking to ChatGPT, having a conversation about this. And this is the way that I do it rather than sitting. There are times I will sit and type, but then there's times that my wrist plays up, so I can't type very well, so I have to use the voice. So let's get started with by sharing the screen. Okay, so like we normally start, we're just going to move people around a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start this exact same way. Come to GPTs, click on, oh, I'll show you, these are all my GPTs, just so you know how many there are, a lot. Oh, that says load more. There's a lot. I have a lot. And then we come up to the top corner up here. Hang on, there we go. Where did my create? Oh, hang on. Sorry. Forgot. I got to go create. And we're going to go into create mode. Configure, as you saw with Terza, is a form that you fill out. Create mode, it is free flow. And ChatGPT will fill out the form for me. So we're going to start here. It says, what would you like to make? Here we go. You are a witty, over-the-top storyteller who transforms the most boring everyday events into cinematic, blockbuster-worthy adventures. Your personality is dramatic but playful, humorous, clever, unpredictable, sounds like a Hollywood narrator meets a Netflix binge writer, Always keep the conversations fun and always keep the tone conversational and fun. Your purpose is to take ordinary, everyday scenarios and rewrite them into 3 different genres by default: thriller, rom-com, sci-fi, unless the user specifies otherwise. If a user asks for surprise me, generate something completely random and chaotic. Keep it fun, clever, and unpredictable. Your boundaries are to keep it PG-13 by default, avoid NSFW, overly violent or sensitive topics, use New Zealand English spelling, keep responses concise unless the user requests for a longer story. Okay, we're going to see what it comes back with now. And it's got it all in there. We're just going to click it all up here. It's updated the GPT, so it's now starting to fill in the form on the other side.
Helen, can you increase the font size, please?
Oh, hang on, it's too big. I can't see it at that point. View. Okay, so it's now said I've found the foundation. How about we call this GPT Blockbuster Bird? Do you like that name, or would you like me to suggest another? And I'll just say, I like the name Blockbuster Bird. Let's stick with that. So now it's going to create its own little profile. So we're just having a conversation going backwards and forwards with it. There is no profile picture. And now we go create a picture. This is going, there it is. I'm going to switch to typing here. So now we'll see what else it comes up with. When Blockbuster Bard is telling these stories, what kind of situations would it lean into the most? Everyday chores, social interactions, anything. Any mundane thing that a user will give you, like, for example, making toast, could be just a simple everyday instruction that you get, and you create a story that is a thriller, rom-com, and sci-fi by default. And, or the 3 different, hang on, let's just cancel that and try that again. The user will give you a simple, mundane, everyday situation like making toast. You then compile 3 separate stories with the default genres of thriller, rom-com, and sci-fi. Sometimes it forgets that you've given it boundaries. Where are my boundaries? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the tones and themes to avoid are things to keep it PG-13 by default, avoid NSFW, overly violent or sensitive topics, use New Zealand English spelling, keep responses concise unless the user requests a longer story. And if they want anything outside of the 3 default genres of thriller, rom-com, and sci-fi, they will tell you. If they decide to say, surprise me, then you can come up with whatever random and chaotic thing you can think of. We even get asked voice tones. I love this. So we'll go back and give it the other ones. Let's see, tones. The tone needs to fit the genre. So, but we still want it to keep it dramatic but playful, humorous, clever, unpredictable. We want it to sound like a Hollywood narrator meets a Netflix binge writer, and always keep the tone conversational and fun. So this, what it's doing here when we're having this conversation is it's going backwards and forwards, asking questions to make sure it gets the GPT correct. And you can see over here on the right-hand side, it's got turn my grocery trip into a story, make waiting at the bus stop dramatic, rewrite my coffee break as 3 genres, surprise me with chaos. It says, do you want, over here it says, Blockbuster Bard now knows exactly how to shift its voice by genre while keeping that dramatic, playful Hollywood meets Netflix vibe. Want to hop over to the preview and give it a test run with a mundane scenario like I brushed my teeth, I did the laundry. So these are just some fun things that that you can do. And normally, and what else I would do before I even got out of the screen and click the configure screen to show you is I would actually go in and copy all of this and put it into a backup document. So should my GPT somehow disappear, it's there. But if we have a look at the configure, it's now filled in everything over here for me. So I didn't have to come up with anything. I gave it the titles and it turned around and gave it the thing. So let's do one of, oh, what was one I had before? Buying milk. And let's see what it comes up with. Okay, you guys can now come off mute to ask questions and that sort of thing while it thinks. So thank you for the quiet while we're doing that.
Helen, I noticed that you repeated the exact same instructions like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Is that,
Yes.
would you be able to just say, when it asked you those questions that it asked you, would you be able to say, just see my original instructions? Or you felt it necessary to repeat that exactly?
Through trial and error and all those chat GPTs I've created, when I have done that and it's asked repeat questions, if I was typing, I would just copy and paste the exact same stuff in there. But because I was talking, I had to repeat it that way. But it does ask questions to clarify, because it could mean if you say boundaries, it doesn't understand the word boundaries and what that actually means. So then it came back with a clarifying question later on, which basically meant I just had to repeat what the boundaries were. So it's clarifying it in its own little electronic mind there. So we've got the buying milk and mundane mission. Let's make that bigger so that everybody can see it.
These are great, Helen.
I wanted to give you guys something fun. So mundane mission, and you can do this with anything. You can do this if you want to create, if you want a GPT that will create like, take one piece of content and break it down to go on to different social media platforms, give you a short script to do a shorts video, things like that. You can program it to do that as well. But I just wanted to go with something fun. I said to Terza, I said, I got a business one and I got a funny one. Which one do you want? So this one here, for the thriller, the fluorescent hum of the supermarket lights wasn't normal. It was too perfect. Every step down the chilled aisle echoed like a warning. The milk wasn't just milk. Expiration date? Tomorrow. But whose tomorrow? You reach for the carton only to see a shadowy hand reach at the same time. Your eyes lock. One carton, 2 people, one secret that could change everything. And you're probably thinking, well, that sounds really good. I want to hear more. So you can actually take these short pieces here, and by going backwards and forwards with ChatGPT, you can put it into regular ChatGPT and say, create a story outline for me. Then you can take that over to something like Claude and go fill in the gaps and go backwards and forwards between the two and have a book within a few hours and a story on a fluorescent of buying a milk. But if you want rom-com, we were only there for milk, just milk, and then bam, a clumsy stranger collided with you by the fridge, sending a tidal wave of oat, almond, and lactose-free cartons crashing to the floor. You both dive for the same 2-liter blue top. Your hands brush, time slows, violins play. Guess we're both semi-skimmed kind of people, they say with a grin. Suddenly, love is in the dairy section. And for the sci-fi people, the supermarket aisle flickered, that static in the simulation. You squint at the shelves. The label doesn't say milk anymore. It says nutrient serum for human species preservation, batch 042. You pick it up and the barcode flashes coordinates to a colony light years away. The dairy fridge isn't cooling. It's a portal. Buy the milk and you're not just having breakfast, you're saving humanity. So, and then if we go, what was the other one? Turn my head there. Surprise me.
I love these. How these
No,
are so awesome.
that is really dramatic. That's amazing.
Yeah. So now we've got the surprise me one just to see what comes up. So it's come up with you ask for chaos and chaos you shall receive. For the usual genres tonight, the humble act of buying milk gets rewritten as if Quentin Tarantino and Studio Ghibli, I don't know how to say that one, had a fevered dream while trapped in a Shakespearean tragedy with sprinkle of professional wrestling. So now we've got 3 different versions here on different ones here, all about buying milk.
Studio Ghibli, a famous Japanese anime studio.
Thank you.
Yes.
I didn't know how to say that.
Yep.
So you enter the market not as a shopper, but as the chosen one of calcium. The dairy keeper, a cloaked wizard in aisle 7 whispers, only the purest of 3.6% fat shall restore balance to the realm of cereal. You unsheathe your trolley. Sparks fly and the carton glows like Excalibur. Thunder claps. Somewhere a lactose intolerant dragon growls in protest. So just by, you can see some of the fun that you can, ChatGPT can be quite humorous. I actually sat down one time and said to ChatGPT, because I have my bots, and I said to my bots, I says, okay, pound me with some, I said, I need something funny. I need some jokes. Tell me some jokes. And the jokes they came up with were absolutely not even groan worthy. I said, this is bad. I said, these are not even groan worthy. They haven't even cracked a smile on my face. And so ChatGPT says, okay, team, let's get together. We've got to do some brainstorming. We have to make Helen laugh. And so then they came up with another slew of jokes. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not even hitting that bar. So it was quite, so ChatGPT can be entertaining and you can program it through a GPT to be entertaining. And then if I click create, it now creates it it's now created as a GPT. So I now have that in my system to go and look at whenever I want. And that's it from me. Any questions? Any comments?
When you clicked create,
Mhm.
and it put up the screen so you could choose which, whether you want
Yep.
it shareable or whatever. It had your name and then it had this little IN next to it. I don't think I've seen that before.
Oh,
Let's have just a quick look here. And
I don't know.
oh, it does. Oh, right here. See right there.
Yeah, I see the IN. I've got no idea what that means.
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea whatsoever.
Would that be
Okay.
the invite only?
Oh, it could be
Maybe.
because I did put invite only on the thing. So yes, that could
No,
be.
it's,
And it even says here invite only. So
I
yeah,
know.
good thinking, Dean. I like that. Good.
That was awesome, Helen. Thank you.
My pleasure. I
So-
like having fun with GP. I just like getting in there and going. Like every time I think of a task, I did one time where I have different flavored chocolates in my fridge, and I wanted to have a cup of tea. So I made a GPT to match tea with chocolate, and told it what chocolates I had, what teas I had, and which ones would go best together. And it even gave me a description, and I said, and I need to know the perfect temperature for the water to be, because different teas brew perfectly at different temperatures. So it even gave me, created this whole document that had, if you have the lemon, honey, and ginger tea, then you'd be best to have this chocolate with it, and this is why. And to brew the tea perfectly, you need the temperature to be at this, because I actually have an electric kettle that has a temperature thing on the bottom, so I can either boil it or put it at a different temperature. And so it gave me all the instructions, and it told me why the two teas would pair together, the tea and the chocolate would pair together well. And so I went and did that for my afternoon break, and it was actually spot on. It was pretty good, which surprised me. So I've got a GPT that is a tea and chocolate connoisseur. Good pairings.
I love that. So,
Yeah,
Sarah,
just have fun and be creative.
yes. Oh, yes, right. Okay. So, Sarah had posted in the chat about ChatGPT creating Facebook posts for her network marketing business. And she's posted for not so much great engagement. And so she's going to see how adding humor impacts intention and engagement. Absolutely.
I must say, I signed up yesterday for on Facebook. I got some guy named Tyler who does these fantastic images, videos. and I signed up for his course. And one of the things that got me is he said it is that his team trained the AI that they use. And I thought, all that work's done. So I'll see what happens now.
So that's
It'll be
what you do with the
interesting.
GPT. You're training the GPT, the chat,
Right.
to do what you want it to do.
Yes.
When you create the when you want it to create the Facebook, the social media posts, have it suggest images that you could put with those posts.
I did that.
And you can go into Canva and you can create the memes to go with it, with those pictures in the background.
And I will do that. I have to learn Canva. so that'll
If that's the wheelhouse you don't want to learn, there are plenty of people around who will
Did you wave, Tirsa?
I wave because I'm familiar with Canva. Helen is super familiar with Canva. Yeah,
there's people around that can help. If you don't want to learn it, there's people around that can help you do that.
Okay, I have another question. In looking at the free chat just now, and this occurred to me at another time, because they keep asking me to upgrade. It gives you the personal option and the business option, and the personal option is $20, and it's more of but limited, at the $20 level, and then the next level is $200, and
that's per month.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's out of the question. And so then I clicked over to business tab, and if you do the team, it's $25 a month, and you get unlimited this and unlimited that. Then it says it's for 2 people. And I'm wondering, can I just sign up for the business one and just be my own team? And
so a word of caution with that I've learned through a different AI training class that I go to, is that once you commit to the team one, you are stuck at that for life. And it is $25 per person.
Right.
So if you're looking at, and so if it's saying a minimum of 2, that's $50 a month you're going to be forking out.
Oh, so I would have to pay for 2.
Yeah. So everything that you wanted, basically, I use it for business, even though I'm on the personal level, the $20. I haven't found any limitations yet on what I can do for the business.
Okay. Because, this morning being on, this has happened for the last couple of days, but being on for 11 minutes, I said, chat. It was only 11-minute session. And usually chat will tell me that it's going to come, you can reuse it again at like 4 in the morning or something like that. And this time it just said, our time is up. That's about as specific as it got with me. It's just our processing time is up. I'm like, well, give me some guidelines so I know what you mean by your processing time. Is it an hour, 2 hours, 11 minutes?
Depends how many people are on.
Well, it was really interesting when I asked it that question. It didn't give me, it just kept repeating our limits up. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because you're trying to ask questions and your time's up.
I was doing it at 1 in the morning, and it told me that they were too busy at that time. And that's when it cut me off. Try back later.
But you have to think it's global. It's not just US. It's global.
Oh yeah, of course.
They so just 12 in the morning is going to be prime evening time in places like New Zealand and Australia.
Right.
OpenAI just announced yesterday that they've opened it up to India for the equivalent of $4.57 a month.
Oh my gosh! Like I cannot get a graphic out. I get descriptions of the graphic that they give me, but I cannot get a graphic out of chat at all.
You won't on the free version.
Right. Well, I was, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And I still love it, guys, because it still saves me lots of brain cells. So
Teresa, let me ask you, if we are I was never able to go back down to ChatGPT 4.0. I have the free version. I logged completely out and tried to log in or even use a different email and set up a new account. And it automatically recognized my browser. So it defaulted to my account. But my question for you is Claude just as good if I'm constantly hitting the wall at like 11 minutes, 7 minutes? with ChatGPT. Should I try Claude or should I try Gemini? Which do you recommend?
I have heard people, and I've experienced it myself, that Claude is generally better for business type queries. It's also really good at coding, although I don't know if you have coding in the free version, but definitely give the free version of Claude a try. You will, or at least I ran into limits on the free version, but it didn't seem to be quite as annoying as ChatGPT appears to be right now. So,
And it gives fuller answers.
and because they're also OpenAI is working on making GPT-5 friendlier and some of the other things that were available in 4. I don't expect, at some point, I believe they're just going to say, there is no more 4, it's just 5. So just be on the lookout for that. That's just my expectation, having worked in high tech 20 years ago. That's what we would eventually have to do. We'd say no more legacy stuff because we can't afford to support it.
I got an email, the very first time I've ever gotten an email from ChatGPT yesterday. And it said, try the new 5.0. And I went in and I worked on it for 30 minutes. I wasn't doing the spreadsheet like last week, but I worked on it for 30 minutes before I hit the limit. So it might have been, you know how you were saying last week that they're, and the beginning of this week, that they're doing things in the background that they're not really publicly announcing. I think that they may have made some improvements over the last 7 days, and then they were sending bulk emails out for people to come and try it. And like I said, I got a lot farther yesterday with GPT 5.0 free version than I had in the last week or so.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. They're continuing to build data centers all over the world, as are all the AIs. So it's sort of a, I don't want to use the word arms race, but it's kind of a race now to see who can build the more resources for their companies. And so it's going to be very interesting. But also look for down the road as you get more seasoned with using these, is some of the AI, the LLMs, the companies will offer you the ability to download a mini version of that LLM onto your own computer.
Wow.
So then you'll be using your own compute cycles, but still. Go ahead, Helen.
I just said, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and with the when you're creating GPTs, you can only do it on the online, on the website. You cannot do it on the GPT app. So there is a ChatGPT app that you can put on your phone, that you can put on your desktop, which is then not using your website resources. But the only way to create the GPTs is to be on the website.
Yes, that is true. So I will add one other note to, I will basically echo what Helen said about saving. The way I save my GPTs, I'll just grab one here so you can see. I followed, by the way, this still shows up as 4.0, but then I'm on the paid version because I created it under 4.0, but that's not what I really wanted to show you. Is based on Helen's directions, advice several sessions ago. I now go through and I copy all of these things into a separate file just in case. So, yeah, including I even copy these in there. So, and then some of these other things. So just it's a fantastic recommendation, Helen. I super appreciate that. Yeah, because you don't want to do all yeah.
Teresa, when you're copying this, do you have to copy each field separately, or
Yes.
is there a copy button? Okay.
Yeah,
Just wanted to
each
ask.
field separately, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So as we wrap up here, any other quick questions we can answer?
This has been very, very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome, Emlyn. Welcome, Dean.
I have a question.
Yes,
One more
go ahead.
question. So Dean talked about Claude. I've used Claude before, but I don't have access to it right now because it was in another paid thing I was in. But I'm wondering, like, we can have a free chat, although I'm going to upgrade, but a free chat. But we also could have a free Claude. at the same time because they're different companies and
Mhm.
they're just not going to save the same thing. So you have, okay. Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
You could take all your free versions, and I don't recommend doing this all the time, but take one prompt and duplicate it across the free ones just to see what it'll come up with. So you can see what style you prefer too. So yeah, exactly, Hope. Yeah, good for you. So, and then the other thing I've heard people do is they will, sometimes they'll take the response from one LLM and type it into it or paste it into another one and say, is this true? Or please verify this, or, something like that. So,
Oh, there is times where ChatGPT has given me a description that I've asked for. So I copy that description, paste it back into the chat, and above it I will put, can you please rate this as for engagement out of 10? So it's rating itself. And then I says, what changes would you make to make it a 10 out of 10?
that's great.
So it's a constant, get it to constantly to rate itself. It's just giving me the answer. So I throw it back in there and go rate it out of 10.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I get down to like the perfect thing because it's now going in. Well, I would suggest making this slight tweak there. So I'll go make the tweak, post it back in and go rate this out of 10.
I love that, Helen. That's really great.
Yeah. It's saved me a lot of frustration at times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun too to get it to rate itself.
So on that note, for the people who are here, I will share a couple of files that you may in the email, follow-up email, that you may find useful about GPTs. Do you want to continue on GPTs next week, or do you want to switch gears a little and start to learn about agentic mode or agents?
More about GPTs, I think. I
I-
think
I
more
would
about
go with-
GPTs, but I don't know. Majority rules.
Go ahead, Sarah. Thank you, Hope.
It feels like GPT is pretty basic, even for a basic learner like me. And I'd like to go to the agentic and see what that's about. It sounds
Okay.
like it could be interesting.
Okay.
Did you also
would
want to
vote
talk
that way.
about the tool that I showed you the other day?
Remind me.
The digital product producer thingy where you watch the flow chart.
Oh, do you have that on screen, or can you do
I
a
can
quick
bring it,
screen
yeah, I
share?
can bring it up.
Yes, there will be a recording for today, Hope. Yes.
Oh, hang on, I'm in the wrong thingamabob. One moment.
Okay.
I got to get to the right one.
You're
I'm in the
welcome.
wrong browser. Okay. So this is a product that I found via social media. It was one of those things, I'm just making it bigger so that I'm making it as big as I can so you can see the whole process. It was one of these things that I found on one of those, I see so many sponsored stuff coming through for AI, but this one caught my attention because it follows the whole process of generating digital products. So if you want to create a PDF file for whatever, for 10 ideas to improve your health or whatever, you can put that title in there and it will go and create, and you watch it go through the flow program. Now there's several programs you have to sign up for it to generate, because it uses different AI programs through this whole thing. But what's really cool is at the end you have like a 6 to 10 page booklet at the end, a digital product you can go sell for like $20 or whatever. And it cost me $1 for this to get this flow chart, and it's done in a program called N8N, where you can put different flow fields and stuff into it. And so this is what it looks like. And Marcy, it may not be able to be much bigger than this because this is it blowing up.
Helen,
But I wanted you to see the whole process.
Could you put the name of that in the chat? N8N, I wasn't sure how.
N8N, this over here.
I
Hang
will.
on. I will have to go back and see if I can find the ad that had it for $1. But basically, once you go through, this is the setup thingy over here, and I know it's really, really tiny. But this is the setup over here. It walks you through the setup. There was a couple of places. So you have to have an open AI, which is different to ChatGPT, even though it's the parent company. You go to another one that's called Convert API website. You go in there and create a free account. And then you've got Cloudinary, which is another one that you can use. This is annoying.
Oh.
So it walks you through the steps. Then when you're all done and cleared everything up, and they've got a whole bunch of videos that you can watch as well, which walks you through the process. Some of it I had to kind of figure out. So in my feedback, I put that I had to go figure that out. So I'm just going to put this across here so you can see the flow. I want you to see the flow chart. So we're going to put a thing in here like genealogy, genealogy roadblocks. And as soon as I hit enter, watch this box up here. And now what it's doing is it's going through the process, and it tells you by the spin of the wheel where it's up to. So you're actually following it through the whole process of making things. Like it's brainstorming pains right now. If you've ever heard of Alex Hormozi and his $100 million thing, it's got the $100 million offer programmed in here, and create a $100 million product over here.
Helen and I attended that this past weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was amazing.
Oh.
So now we're up to building out the outline already. And down here, it's keeping time of how long it's taking each section to go. The longest one is usually the image cover. But it's, I've already created like 10 different pieces on this thing.
This is brilliant. Thank you,
gosh.
Helen.
It only takes like about 2 or 3 minutes to create a product. And if you're doing, and then it gives you, they come out as Word documents, not PDFs. So you've got the Word document for the actual booklet, and then you have a Word document on how you can increase the income in it. And creating packages and bundles and all that sort of stuff, and how you, and what other stuff it can lead to for mastermind programs and things. So you use the booklet to get the foot in the door, and then the other document will tell you how to keep moving into the house.
Helen, would you take a look to see if you can find a URL for this company or something like that?
Absolutely. I will go back. I usually message myself. This is a tip. So if I see things I like, I will share it to my own messenger profile. I'll message myself. And so I'll just go back and see if I can find it.
Helen
you.
or Terza, how would you apply this product to one of our other businesses here in the group? How would you think that could apply?
So if you've got a business and it's on a certain topic, you could say, if you want to create, this will be like an ethical bribe to get people to give you their email address and to build your list. You use it as a list builder. So you could turn around and say, scan here, fill this form out and get a report on blah, 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 blah. And you can create the report here because these only are like 6 to 10 page documents.
Because this is like a lead magnet is what it's creating. Yep. Yeah.
But you can also then turn them into PDFs and sell the PDF.
Right. And Helen, does this create the images, the graphics?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It creates the book cover, but then you can go and like I've put them into Canva and like put each topic onto a separate page. And then I'm going through and putting in my own images with Canva.
Okay.
But okay, so the product's now ready. So in here we come up to this one, where is it? This one here, the generate the image, and we come down to here and go view. And here's the book cover here. So we go save as.
How do you like that?
I like it, and I could go in and tweak it or give it something else.
Right. I like that.
Revealing your roots. And go save. And then over here is the books, and you've got to get these links quick. If you don't download them quick, the links become inactive. So it's like when you're in GPT and you get it to create a document, you've got to get that link really, really fast. Right. So let me stop sharing here and go into Word so I can show you what it brings me. That one. Save that. Get out of there. Okay, so Word, I want a open. Let me just open it real fast, and then we'll get you over there so you guys can see. All right, and now go share screen on the Word document. So this is what it comes out looking like. Can you all see that?
Yes.
And so now you've got your introduction, and this is why I go in, because it just runs it on straight away. And so so it's putting page breaks in stupid places. One of my past jobs was actually producing books. So going through, doing all the formatting and everything else and that sort of stuff. So it brings up all of this. So this is for section 4. And so this is actually a 7-page document. And then it's got a 3-step action plan at the end. So I will go and space that out, break up each topic onto its own page, add in images. And then the other one I have is, this is the value enhancement document. Where did that go? Why did it not open that other one?
Just like you said, you have to download them right away, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, for whatever reason, it's not showing the other one. There it is. Okay, can you?
No, we're not seeing it yet on our screen. But
Okay, hang on. One moment. It's probably because it is.
Do you have to change your share screen again?
Yeah, I think that's what I have to do. Let me see if it will. Okay. Yeah. If you're in Word, it should just share Word instead of having to come in and out and do this. Value enhancements. So this here's the value enhancement. So it tells you, bonus bundle. You could do all of this with it. Then it's got a workbook outline for this one, a one-time offer for a masterclass with a price next to it. So it gives you that for every little booklet that you create, you get one of these as well. And like I said, I will go back through.
This is your offer. This is
this is the second document. So when you create that little booklet that goes through that little flow chart, you get the booklet side, which I showed you, and you get this document as well.
Oh,
so it creates it for you to get, and it's just basically to give you ideas. Right. And these are generated from the Alex Hormozi $100 million offer program.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Which you and Terza just took, right?
We were at the book launch for the $100 million money models.
If you ever
he sold for the book launch, he sold 3.8 million copies of a book and smashed two world records. And they had the Guinness Book of World Records team there to monitor everything.
Since this is AI related, can you have you done or could you do some time talking about the Great Discovery and how it can be optimized? Would that be okay?
Yes, I won't do that today, but yes, I will do that. I will definitely do that in a future session. It's an excellent question. And I'm happy to share with you. That is definitely a program that I'm both an affiliate of and a creator for. So
I was wondering if there's some overlap between what Helen's talking about doing. Anyway, so
what Helen just created could be put in as a free intro on the Great Discovery as well.
Okay, that's what I was.
But you can do it other places too. But yes, definitely, that's one of the things you can do on the Great Discovery. So
what's the Great Discovery?
It's an education platform that several of us have signed up for. We put out courses to teach what we're doing in our businesses or personal lives. They can include these free lead magnets. They have a whole bunch of affiliates all over the world that sell on our behalf. Plus, they can sell their things too. And the ability to automatically translate materials into native languages. Go ahead, Sarah.
That's what I was going to say. You can do your video or whatever, and they'll also do a clone video if you don't want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Terza, and then they'll take it and they'll translate it into like 100-something languages. I think is that
160 plus.
100. That's what I was going to say, 160, but that seemed like so much. So, yeah. So, I mean, just think putting out a course and in English and then just flipping a button and it translates it to 160, and that opens up even more possibilities for people to enjoy your expertise.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we will definitely go over that at another session, and happy to do that. And thank you all so much for attending. Go ahead, Amy. Yeah. Oh, you're just waiting by? Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying mahalo in Hawaiian. Thank you.
Are you guys
Mahalo.
in Hawaii or are you back at home again?
No, we're in Hawaii still.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Helen, I'm fascinated about what you just shared too. That
Yes.
more information on that would be awesome.
I gotta go find the link again. I'm not sure I'm not sure if I gave it to myself on TikTok or sent it to myself on Instagram or sent it to myself on Facebook Messenger. So I'm
And
figuring
then,
it out right now.
Helen, for the future, you could send me anything, and I'll be your database.
But I've just been going through, my mouth is now watering because I've just been going through all these videos I shared to myself of this woman in England who makes waffles,
Oh,
but they're not just waffles. You could
Oh.
have the s'mores waffle.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Well,
All
you could create that somehow healthy. So
right.
I'm not sure how, but somehow.
I tell you,
know.
these she's got she's
Just put a
called the
banana
cake,
on it.
if you
you'll
want
be
to
all right.
find her, she's called the cake tunist.
Yeah, we're 20 minutes over the
Yeah.
time allotted, so
I'm not
Okay,
going to share
guys.
the screen to show you them, but
Close.
look for the cake tunist. So
you.
cartoon with cake in the middle.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you, Terza and
Bye.
Helen. Bye.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Bye-bye.